leading experts in their own sphere of influence. What we're going to do today is we'll be discussing about the challenges that leaders face in their trying times. And this is what we know, that after the pandemic, even during the pandemic, it's been a lot of punches from left, right, and center for different organizations. And we will be addressing different areas and leveraging their expertise in these areas. I appreciate you for being a part of the community. If you're new to us, this is Leadership and Productivity Podcast. And if you've been following us before now, you are welcome. I'm so honored to have you here, ladies. Can you please introduce yourself, Dr. Kate?
Thank you so much for having me on the show, Elizabeth. Really excited to be here. So hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Kate. I am a burnout recovery expert and coach. And so I help those who are burdened by burnout through a reflective process to get them back to being their happiest, healthiest selves. And really excited to be here to chat with all of you.
You're welcome. Ms. Tahira, can you please introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, I'm Tahira Amir Sultan Khan. I'm actually from Singapore. And I'm right now not in Singapore. I'm in Malaysia, neighboring countries. I have been 20 years in technology, but now I head a Writers Awards. So to bring up the truth writers, those who write the deeper truth, and we recognize them. So yes, I would say I'm an author now, and a person who motivates writers to become leaders. That's the objective actually of these Writers Awards, seeing them as a new leaders. So I do a lot of motivation of these peoples to be in leadership, by recognizing them.
Thank you. Miss Erin, can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah, so happy to be here, surrounded by amazing, strong women. This is awesome. I just love having these conversations, even if they weren't recorded. So I am a confidence coach for teen and tween girls. I work with girls basically ages 8 to 18, helping them learn how to choose their thoughts so they can create a life that they love, not one that was predestined for them or pushed upon them by someone else, because then they have the freedom to go change the world in ways that matter to them. So I do that through group and one-on-one coaching, virtual and in person, as well as speaking events and engagements and conferences and all sorts of things. So I'm super happy to be here with you guys today.
Well, you are so welcome, and I'm so thrilled to have you all here. I'm so excited. I can't wait for everything you have all got to share with us. So my first question is, we know that because of the pandemic, a lot of companies have experienced change. So now that people are going back and planning to go back, some leaders are struggling with the change. So what would you suggest? What are the ways you think they can navigate this change? Harry, would you like to start us out in that?
Me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think this is a great time for people to really be able to evaluate, do I have the right people on my bus, so to speak? Or do I have the right people in the right places? Because when you do, you are able to both give grace and trust at the same time. And I think that's what we're all yearning for right now, is that people would give us grace, because everyone is still processing, like Tahira being in Malaysia, they're back on lockdown. There's a lot going on there that's different than what's going on in the United States or in Canada or in the UK. And how we're all processing this based on where our relatives are, based on what has happened to us during this 18 months, based on how old our children are, our relationship status. We all need more grace for one another. And it's so much easier to give that grace when we also have that trust, because we know this is still the right person. This is still the right person to be working with, or to be aligning with, or to be on, on mission with, when that's how I look at my small business a lot of times, is I'm like on a mission to do something, right? And so when we're aligned with the right people, it's so much easier to give that grace and also to receive that grace for ourselves. And I think that's where leaders really need to continue to step up, because it would be easy for us to say like, oh, that's almost in our rearview mirror. We're almost done with that COVID thing, so we don't need to worry about that. And I think we need to double down on the grace. We need to double down on how we're treating ourselves with grace and empathy and love, and then how we're treating those around us. And when you have the right people surrounding you, that's, I think, a lot easier to do. So reevaluating, like, are we in the right place with the right people? So that's my thoughts.
Kate, would you like to elaborate on that? For instance, you mentioned grace. What could grace mean it could mean different things for different people at different stages. For
absolutely. Yeah. And I love that. I think that piece of offering grace and coming from a space of assume the good in others, right? And so rather than taking it from a defensive standpoint. And I think one way that leaders can really extend grace to the people that they're working with is ask them how they're reprioritizing their life. Like, what changes do you need that you've recognized while working through this pandemic? And that's an incredibly important question to ask, because it's going to get you information as a leader as to how you might redefine the workspace, how you might redefine the needs of your employees, and you may learn how they're best productive. And is there a way that you can implement changes that are going to help you actually see greater production and more motivation, simply by asking, what do you need? What have you noticed, while working through this, and what changes would you like to see here in our workspace?
Right. Thank you so much. Tahira, you've taken up a leadership role. Now, when we're talking about being gracious with individual, how do you navigate change? Have you experienced transitioning from one thing to another that you would like to share with us? How did you handle that?
Yes, of course. I had to deal with that myself because, I'm in Malaysia, and then Singapore also, similar. Malaysia is in indefinite lockdown. Just to let you know, one of the highest suicide rates, which is unpublished in the world. So I had to deal with, in terms of my leadership, and that sort of, in terms of changing everything, okay? And by collaborating with people and being more open. When you collaborate and you're more open with your customers, with your colleagues, and you tell them openly about the issues you're facing. I had to change our physical events to a virtual event. We had to talk to every customer as a leader, not calling hundreds of people one by one to tell them we're going to make it virtual now. So they're not going to be able to come to a gala dinner anymore. It's going to be, so they're not used to that. They probably ask for refunds. I mean, companies have collapsed. Event companies have collapsed because of this. So it's building that human connection that's going to save you as a leader, being totally open, showing your soft, vulnerable side, telling them really how you are suffering. They will empathize. And knowing that they will empathize, it's not going to make you weak. This is a time that it's okay, but you have to fulfill your promise in some way or the other. Don't just give up and say, okay, I can't do it. No, keep going. We kept going as an organization, as an event organization, and we fulfilled it. But we had to be open. And then collaboration, as I mentioned, the first point, is bring more partners in and open up and have trust so that they can support you. Instead of having an arm's length relationship, now you have to bring them closer like family. You have to look at your partners as family members now. That's very, very important. You have to confide in them and let them confide in you. It's a totally different ballgame now as leadership. It's no longer like partnership contracts. It's a partnership contract at the heart level. So yeah, up your empathy, as
Yeah.
both of the speakers were saying. That's going to help you a lot. In fact, you may not have as many refunds. You probably have to deal with refunds and losses, of course.
Yeah.
So it's crucial in leadership to become like a family member, a mother or father,
Right.
and to coach your own team, and to yes, to coach your own team and do extra. And I think this is just the essence, I would say, of it, to ride you through this time.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's what I have to say.
Thank you so much. This has been so insightful. You all are doing amazing. And thank you so much for sharing your expertise. So now there's one other thing which I know that I noticed that a lot of leaders struggle with, to have their own thinking time and reflection. And this affects their communication. It affects making the right decisions, strategic decisions, or having clarity. And that's really important when it comes to building a business or a project that one is embarking on. What are the reflection exercises that you think one can inculcate as a leader, Dr. Kate?
Yeah, so I think the first thing that's really important to address is, bottom line, you as a leader have to prioritize reflection time and reflection space as part of your day. You need to find ways to schedule that in, and then remove the distractions from that space. And it doesn't have to be a long period of time. My best reflecting actually happens while I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
It's one of those rare times that I am, I don't have a bunch of thoughts going on. I don't have a lot of distractions. I might have some music playing, but for the most part, it's me and my thoughts in that space and time. So intentionally utilizing maybe some of those spaces where you find yourself by yourself. So it might be in the car, it might be while you're getting ready in the morning, and capitalizing on that as using that reflection space. Do you need to have a dry erase marker in your bathroom so you can jot notes down on your mirror while you're, thinking about them? So, start in that small space. Start by using a time that you already have some space to yourself. And then think about how you can intentionally expand on that throughout the day so that you can have that creative mindset flowing and that problem solving occurring.
Thank you so much. Thank you. What about you, Erin? Is there any exercise you think one can imbibe?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The first thing I want to say is that there are all the studies about journaling, and we should all be journaling, and it's so good for us, yada, yada. I stink at journaling. I'm the worst. And so I'm always telling my clients about, who are teen and tween girls, I'm telling them, here's what you should be doing. Also, I suck at this. So my hack for that is I'm a great video journal. So I literally open on my phone and I talk to myself. And that is the best way for me to reflect and journal. So that's a hack that I use, because sitting down and writing long form out my feelings and thoughts just doesn't work for me. So that is my best hack. And then one of the things that I do when I feel myself kind of getting like overwhelmed or whatever, I take a moment and this is something one of my therapists taught me, Fanos. What am I feeling right now? Like, name my feelings. Affirmation. How can I affirm myself in this moment? What is good? I am worthy. I am peaceful. I am calm, whatever it is, whatever affirmation I need. The N is needs. What do I need right now? Do I need to eat something? Do I need to drink something? Do I need a nap? Do I need to talk to somebody? What do I need? The O is for ownership, meaning what can I take ownership of that's going right or that's going wrong, or both? So what can I really say, like, yes, I have a hand in that, and this is why it's going well, or I have a hand in that, and maybe that's why it's not going as well, just so that I'm having a reality check. And then the S is spiritually, like, how do I feel in my spirit? Like, and is there something I need to do to, to realign that? So FANOS, Fanos, is my quick and dirty, like, here's how I check in with myself. So, yeah.
Wow, I love that. I love that. I love the video journaling. It never crossed my mind. I like to write, but I never thought of video journaling. Although I don't like to hear myself, even though I do. a lot of recordings.
Yes, you have to love the sound of your own voice and the look of yourself, which I do. So that's not a problem for me.
Thank you so much. What about you, Tahira? Is there anything, even if it's one? I know that you've shared a lot of points and you mentioned some.
Yeah, about actually, I practice a similar thing as Dr. Kate, which is on the creative pauses.
Okay.
So I do have a couple of creative pauses. It's whatever you feel at your creative element, and when you're showering, like she was saying, that's a time when she can be creative. So for me, I'm more into exercise. So I like to go for a walk in nature, in the garden, and then I'm out of the space, the normal space.
Yeah.
And then another creative pause is having something I enjoy eating, So yeah, not that I eat much, but I'm just saying something you enjoy eating. Why not?
Sure.
And reading a passage, maybe some poetry which you enjoy, or listening to some music which you love. So it can be many, many things. So you can have that in different parts of the day. So I usually take a creative pause after I have a heavy meeting. Then I'm away for an hour. Because it doesn't have to be back to back. I don't believe in that. Back to back meetings. Everybody says that. It's not for me. No, I'm not into that. No, we've got to have that. We need to be relaxed, I think.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
work less hours, but have those more creative pauses. Yeah, why not? And I think it's a lot easier, and you get a lot more ideas and solutions. Just when I went for a walk, it was about 11 o'clock at night. I went for a walk, a half an hour, and I had solutions to so many things. And so I was just sitting at my desk and I'm trying to figure out, okay, how do I solve this? Got it through a walk. So less stress. I think now we need to work out ways how we can minimize stress, because we already have a world where we feel the energies.
That's true.
Even though our lives may be okay, but we can feel the energy of the neighbor. Who is going through a very hard time. I can feel it. I feel sometimes depressed because I can feel people going through trauma. And we need to get into these pauses as much as possible.
Yeah, thank you so much. The last thing that I would like to ask you about, or what I would like us to discuss about, is we get easily distracted and pulled in many directions. So sometimes when a leader is trying to balance creating an exciting future and maximizing the results of today, are there ways you can share that one can balance to stay focused in order to create a sense of stability that an organization needs? Anyone can go for it. I don't want to call it.
Could you clarify a bit more exactly what you're talking about in terms of balance?
Okay, can you share ways by which one can balance to stay focused in order to create? One can balance to stay focused.
To stay focused, okay.
In order to create a sense of stability and organization needs.
Okay.
I think that remembering to cast the vision of what we're all going for. One organization I was part of, and this has been, oh my gosh, decades ago at this point, but it has never left me, is that they said you need to cast the vision for the boots on the ground every 21 days. So, this, for me, a lot of times, this is my family. I'm casting the vision for them about what business I'm building, because they are my support system, and they are the people that have to clean up the kitchen when I'm not, because I'm with a client, or they're, so whether it's a big business and it's a corporation and you have tons of workers, it's that whole metaphor, right, of talking to the different guys that were all, one's like I'm laying bricks and one's like I'm building a wall, and then the last one's like I'm building a castle. You know what I mean? Like where is your level of vision of how what you do contributes to the bigger picture? So for my girls, it's like when you're switching the laundry and I don't have to, you are helping to build a future for our family because of what I'm able to do when you're doing that to me. You're not just folding clothes. You know what I mean? You're creating a preferred future for our family. And the same thing would be with any leadership organization, making sure that everybody knows the why behind what we're doing, because there's down and dirty tasks every day that don't feel very glamorous or exciting and help you and burn you out, but if you can balance the burnout activities with the big vision, I think that's a key.
Wow, thank you so much. Does anybody wants to share any other thing to just buttress the point?
I love that, Erin. I think it is it's so important to, I think, when you are being strategic in that our goal setting and mapping things out, that you continuously keep that big picture in mind, because, what are the small pieces? What are the ways that you have mapped out to get to that space, and continuing to remind yourself and reminding your team members of those spaces as you continue the work. So you're not, I call it the shiny business syndrome, where it's like, oh, that looks like fun. I'll do that. I'll write a book. I'll do a podcast. I'll do this. But always going back to asking, how will this impact the larger vision and the big picture down the road? And that helps you kind of navigate those pieces so that you're not falling for every shiny object out there as a business owner, as a leader.
Yeah. We always need to think about the bigger picture, and then we'll break it down, communicate this through from up down, so that we carry our team along. I know that even in our daily life, sometimes we tend to get distracted. It could be by different kinds of things, or the movie that we like, or it's something else. I know that I've heard people saying that at this season, I just find it difficult to concentrate. And you know what? It's sometimes difficult, or most times, when it comes to self-paced learning. And we hear that's just for example. So, Tahira, do you want to share something or a tip for anyone generally that anyone would like to share?
I think Erin and Karen have explained it really well about some balance, right?
Yeah.
And what I do is that I get my team to do different things.
Okay.
Yes, so they can understand each other, and that builds teamwork, and also it makes it more fun. I think that's a fun thing. That's an essence, right?
It is.
It's fun.
It is.
Yeah, that's how you can create some balance, break the monotony a little bit. Yeah. I think that's the essence. So great. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Is anybody publishing a book or launching something new that you would like to share?
Sure. I do have a book out on pre-order right now on Amazon, and it is called Burnout: A Professional's Guide to Identify, Prepare, and Recover Your Joy. So that will be coming out soon if anyone would like to check that out.
That's cool. That'll be good. Do you have any pre-order link that we can just share with the audience?
I will send that your way so you can include it in the show notes. Absolutely.
Yes, I have a book also coming up.
Okay.
It's a book I've been working on for the past 3 years. Actually, it's 2 books. It's a book series.
Okay.
It's similar to the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, but it's deeper. It's called the Golden Truth series. And the launch is going to be the first week of September. Okay. So, and the 100% of the earnings is going to go to a foundation which I'm setting up to raise up the writers of truth. So, yes, good. I can share that also. The details are actually on the website, goldendoorwards.com website.
Sure, no problem. We'll put that up. And Erin, I know that you are helping, and we would like to also have your link.
Yes, I do not have a book yet. But I am enrolling for my 9-month program. So I like to work with girls over the course of the academic year. So starting in September all the way through May, we work through my Fiercest framework together. And so I am enrolling for that now and would be happy to set up a free call with anybody that is interested. I also have a Triumph Together free video course that I would love to send their way. So they can just check that out on my website, www.erintarr.com. ERINTARR.
Wow,
Okay.
that's really good. Thank you for sharing your expertise, your knowledge, um, your skill with the whole world and paying it forward so that other people can be built and you can improve their capacity. This is really good. Well, for me, I have the Changemakers Academy, which is free for those who want to turn their idea into something meaningful that they can maybe sell. That's free. And there is another membership group for those who want to build their business. This is everything about entrepreneurship. You don't have to go through this crazy journey alone. We know that it can feel lonely and people get so stuck. They get stuck along the way trying to build this because they have one skill in one area, but no skill in the other areas. We know that entrepreneurship goes beyond your technical skill. So you just join the community of people and you learn, you receive accountability, and yeah, as you build and launch your product. So it's been so wonderful having you all today. And thank you for listening to us, our audience, for being part of this community and taking the time to listen to the end. And we hope to see you next week. Bye. I think my name is Elizabeth Leonard, and welcome to another episode of the Leadership and Productivity Podcast. I am so honored to have with me here Dr. Kate, Erin, and Tahira, and they are just amazing experts in their own sphere of influence. What we're going to do today